Hello everybody, welcome back to Barrel's Garage. Here we go. We're going to finish this series up with how I title them, add my descriptions, and everything else. You noticed from my other video that when I edited this video over here, I kind of jumped ahead here a little bit and I went ahead and hit the upload button on it. Right now my internet's a little slow. They're doing some work on the lines and stuff, so I went ahead and got a jump on that so you didn't have to sit here and watch how long it took for it to upload. But anyway, I got her all uploaded here and we're ready to launch into how I add in all of this stuff here. So here we go. Now again, while I'm doing this, I'm going to expand the screen so you can see more of it. But when I expand it, I can't see the comments. So I'll pause from time to time and try to catch up with the comments and everybody that's in here. But let's just dive in. Okay. Now, one of the reasons I like to do this, as I mentioned in the other video, when I go out and I do a shoot and I try my hardest to go in, edit the video, and then I jump right to this phase of it because I'm trying to keep it all fresh in my mind. While I'm videoing it, while I'm doing, the whole editing process and everything, I'm thinking about my title, I'm thinking about my keywords and my description all at the same time. And if it's all that's fresh in my mind, it makes this process really easier. So let's dive in and let's just get this party started here. Get this all stretched into place here where y'all can see it. Okay. So obviously I've already hit the upload and she's already up here. One of the things I use, and another reason why I do it so quick like that, you notice down here at the very bottom right here where it says checks and balances, all that stuff, When it's first uploading, it'll say SD such and such % loaded. I kind of use that as my timer. Okay, this is my free time when I can figure this stuff out. But I've already done that because I didn't want you guys to wait. This video here took about 30 minutes to upload because of the work they're doing on the internet here. Anyway, so when I first load in my video also to edit it, you can see right here that my file name for this particular video actually is very close to the title I was thinking about in the very beginning. So it kind of speeds up this process. So when I upload it, it's already got kind of the keywords I was looking for. 4WD, because I'm talking about a four-wheel drive. S10. Okay, those are the main keywords, and chassis and swapping, chassis swapping. That's what it's all about, this particular video. Nobody really knows what the algorithm, the almighty algorithm does, but in a basic, broke down, easy to understand way to figure out what an algorithm does, it's just going out and it's picking up matching words. The algorithm is kind of like a parrot. A parrot doesn't really know what words it's saying. It just knows that if it says these words, it's going to get a cracker. Basically, that's what an algorithm does. So when the algorithm takes off, what it's doing is it starts right here at the very first word. And it does this in a nanosecond. And it'll scan through every video from this right here all the way to the end. And it's looking for every matching word in there for all of the videos out there and for everybody that it's kind of grayed out there, but everybody that types into that search box for a video that they're looking to watch, something they're looking for. Every word that they type in there, what the algorithm does is it uses your title and it picks the words out of there to match up with whatever they're looking for, and then it throws it up on the screen for them to choose if they want to click it. So one of the priority things that I do in my title is I try to make sure that the important words are always first. And I've got 100 characters. See, I've used 45 of 100 up here so far in order to get the most traction, the most suggestion, the most suggested, you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get my video put up there in the suggestions so people can, yeah, they can choose to watch it if they want. So anyway, okay, this is going to be kind of a tough one because there's a lot of variables, if you will, when you're doing your title. So everybody knows that, yep, year, make, and model. You always put the full year, full make, full model in all your video titles. Well, this one, there's not really a year, make, and title, so I cut it down to just this. Okay, so, and I've watched this video again about 6-7 times so I can refresh it in my brain. So here we go. Oh, some of the tools, oh, real quick too. Some of the tools I do use, you see this little button right here, TubeBuddy. I do use TubeBuddy. For all of you that are looking into TubeBuddy, I recommend just starting off with the free version. I do have the next paid level up on TubeBuddy. So a few of the little things in here will be a little bit different, and I'll explain to you what the differences are between the free version and the next level up paid version. But here we go. Okay, four-wheel drive S10 chassis swapping, the hidden advantages. Okay, now I got to start to think. And I got to type too. And I'll tell you right now, I'm really good at multitasking as long as it's one thing at a time. So I hope this works. Anyway, 410 S10 chassis swapping. Let's go ahead and listen to. And you do that here, right? Okay, kind of got an idea again because I've watched the video so many times. Four-wheel drive S10 chassis swapping. First, when I start to type them out, I'll type out the whole words. You see, and I try to use that, what's that called, ampersand or whatever, the abbreviation for and. Go ahead and type it clear out. And the hidden advantages, just this is just rough, so just rough it in. Four-wheel drive S10 chassis swapping, and the hidden advantages. Of the hidden advantages and the hidden advantages of what makes this the best choice. Now, that's not my title right off the bat. That's just all of the keywords I can think of right now that anybody would be typing in that might want to do look for this video. Now, one of the mistakes that a lot of people make on their title is they'll write it out like a robot. You see, I'm thinking of the keywords I need to use, but I want it to read like I wrote it, not a robot wrote it, not the AI. I want people to know that, yeah, I did this, not a machine. You know, my channel's not fake, if that makes sense. So I try to always put a human element in the title so it doesn't come across as a robot. So let's see what we got so far there. Four-wheel drive S10 chassis swapping and the hidden advantages of what makes this the best choice for all makes and models. Thank goodness for spell check, because I can't spell worth crap. Okay, I'm 109 over. Okay, it's good for all makes and models, and I kind of squeezed the keywords at the end. So if I decide that's a good title, I'm gonna review it myself. This is all part of the editing process. I'm editing it myself here. I'll go ahead and put the abbreviations in now, and I'm trying to shorten it up to that magic 100, and because the algorithm knows that is also and the machine. So I'm still 5 over. 4WD S10 chassis swapping. Okay, let's change this to swaps. Three more characters got to come out of it. 4-wheel drive S10 chassis swaps, and the hidden advantages of what makes this the best choice for all makes and models. Let's see, what else can I do there? Take 3 more. All I need is 3 more out of there. I'll come back to it. Now, I'm going to jump down here into my description now, while this is still going in my mind. And it's nice and red, so it's telling me, hey, stupid, you got to keep going on this. Okay, now down here, I kind of get the narrative of the video, and I know all of the stuff I'm going to be using. I know it's a Chevy S10, and it's a 4-wheel drive. It's a 4WD. I'm talking about the 2-wheel drive. All of that stuff is going to be in the description here. I'm going to write it out in paragraph form. So this is the tough part. For the first part of my description here, it's going to be for the person, the human eye. So let's just start it off kind of like the title is. Right, this is a little tougher than I thought. Like I said, usually when I get to this point, I shut everything down and I completely focus on this. Now I'm trying to explain to you guys while I'm doing it. And yeah, it's a little tougher, but we'll give it a go. Okay, here we go. In this video, I will do my best to. Thank goodness for spell checker. And you can watch my dumbass do all of this stuff. I'll do my best to show you all how I go about. Well, let's change that to how and why I use the. Here we go. Chevrolet. Now, Chevrolet is hard to spell. Most people will misspell that. But some of the technical guys that are diehard Chevy guys can spell that blindfolded. So I always put that one in the first there. Chevrolet S10. And there's many of them. So we'll put in GMC S15. S10 Blazer, or GMC Jimmy. It's all variations of that. Okay, in this video, I will do my best to show you all how and why I use the Chevrolet S10, GMC S15, S10 Blazer, or GMC Jimmy for all my chassis swaps. Okay. I gotta think again. Okay, in this video, I'll do my best to show you. Oh, and if you ever lose track of what it was or anything like that, we about to do watch it again. In this video, I'll do my best to show you how and why I use shooting as. And the main theme through all of this video was track width. So we'll put that in there. Like I said, just like I said it there. And you don't have to worry about, you're not turning in an essay for high school or anything like that. What I'm doing is I'm taking any of these, again, keywords that people will be typing into the search box, any keywords that somebody else has put in their videos and their descriptions, anything, any way I can get a match off of these words to match it up with what somebody else has put. As long as they've got that word in it, my video has that word in it, chances are my video will pop up on the suggestions. If somebody watches their video, if it's a big channel, any big channel, and they've got that in theirs, and I check all of the boxes, more of my keywords fit for what theirs was, my video will be the next one to play if I get it correct and I get it right. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm packing this full of any keywords that I can think of that are going to pop, give my video the best chance for getting more suggestions. So here we go again. Try this again. It's a little hard. In this video, I'll do, and you'll see, I'll reread this many, many times. Well, not too many times, because I ain't going to bore you all to death with this. Just giving you a rough, good idea of it. In this video, I'll do my best to show you how and why I use the Chevrolet S10, GMC, S15, S10 Blazer, blah, 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 Jimmy, for all my chassis swaps. The main reason I choose these is because I'll break it down in simple forms first. Tire width, parentheses, track width, is almost identical for all makes and models. Oh Lord, it goes all the way back. Let's just say from the 1930s all the way to the late 1950s. And cars started to get big. Okay. And another way you can speed it up, this whole process for you, if you already have a video that's close to it, you can come up here and click reuse details. Then if you have a video that's already, like this was part 2, you can click on that, any of these, maybe this one. This actually might fit pretty good. I'm talking about that too. This is a little more advanced here because I've already got one set up. I'm trying to cheat this to make it a little quicker for you. Now, what I would do there is I would check all the ones that kind of fit, and then I would switch them around a little bit to make them fit a little better. And if it's really close to the video that I already have out, if somebody watches this video, the one I'm going to copy the stuff out of, if somebody watches that video, more things will match. So this video that I'm putting out will be the next suggestion, and it'll play on the autoplay a lot of times. Lord, that's tempting, but we'll just do this one rough because I'm trying to show you how to do it. If it's a first video, I can't do that. Okay, so my first paragraph there is pretty much written for a person to read it, because when I publish this, that's about as much as anybody's going to see out of it, because nobody clicks the read more button. Very few people do anyway. So now the rest of it down here is going to be just packing it full of more keywords that I know that the algorithm is going to pick up, but I'm going to do it in a non-spamming way of doing it all in sentence form like this. Now I'll start putting in stuff like, okay, now I'll put, well, it is a little different here. We'll go first gen. Now I'll put Chevy. S10s are not all the same, though. As they come in. Okay, now I start breaking it up. Two-wheel drive. So if somebody types that all in, it'll pick it up. And the four-wheel drive. I'm going to do a lot of double talk in these kind of sentences now. And I'm going to switch those two up. I'm going to put 2WD when I talk about it again. I'm going to put 4WD when I talk about it again. So what I'm doing is I'm covering all of my bases for however anybody is going to type that in to the search box, or how anybody else has got those written out in there in other videos that, you know, that aren't mine. Bigger channels might have S10 swaps going on. Some of the, you know, big customizers and stuff like that. Bad Chad's got a bunch out. It's a really common swap. So all of those other guys that have already established a video and have got it going, I can kind of piggyback on them just by matching these keywords from what they've got going on. And I want to make sure that I broaden that out to everybody that's done this. This takes a lot of time, but make sure you get that as much as that in there as possible. But don't do it in a spamming way. You know, I'm not just going to think of all of those words and just write them out, because then that looks fake. That looks like, you know, a machine has done it. It looks like you're purposely doing it that way. And you know how YouTube works. If you're faking it in any kind of way, they're going to butcher you. And it severely confuses the algorithm. And if you go too far with it, the algorithm won't know what to do with it. So it'll bury it. It'll drop yours for the easier ones for it to grab a hold of and push out there. So I try to do it like this in non-spamming way. Again, there'll be a lot of double talk in it, a lot of that sentence might come up in a different way, like I said, with just moving those around. Instead of writing out 2, I'll put the number 2 and all of that stuff as I'm going through here and I'm filling in the description. Okay, so we kind of covered that pretty good. Now I'll talk about the hashtags. Now, when I do a hashtag, I do not put them up here anymore because you can see I've only got 100 characters here. And the algorithm doesn't know what a hashtag is. What the hashtag does is it puts it in its own category, kind of like its own. If you think of it in Facebook terms, a hashtag is a Facebook page. It's somebody else's Facebook page, and it just groups all those videos that are hashtagged that way into that section. But the only traction you're going to get off of the hashtag is everybody that's in that page. Nobody else is going to get it. The algorithm isn't going to bounce it out to everybody that way. So if you want to use your hashtags, put them in here, because it does nothing for you up here. Down here it does. And you can bury it. You can put it at the very end of your video, of your description. And it doesn't matter, because when you put it in there, when you look at the video when it comes up, right at the top where it says description, it'll list all your hashtags up there. And so it'll pop it up to the top for you anyway. So it's kind of a free one. It's kind of a wild card. So what I'm getting at there, don't waste this space. This is golden space. At Walmart, you notice that at the ends of the aisles, that's where they put the stuff that they want you to get. Or up at the register, they want you the impulse stuff. It's right up there in the prime real estate area. Exact same thing. This is their title section up there, those first 100 characters. Those are the best opportunities you have. So don't put anything up there that's doesn't need to be there, like hashtags. So here we'll, I don't know, I'll type in a quick, easy way of how I throw them in. This one, I'll probably throw this one into the No Name Nationals group. This makes nice, quick, and easy way to build here goes another good keyword too. Nice and easy. Well, we'll fix that a little bit. Budget build hot rod off the ground. It's kind of, I'm playing to the human side there. And ready for that. Here comes hashtag. Now, when you first hit hashtag, it says it right there. No Name Nationals. 9,300 videos are in there, 254 channels. It tells you right there. Perfect, okay? Now, I do it a little sneaky. You can do this if you want, but you have to be careful with the spelling. You can misspell this with capitals, but be very careful, because if you miss one word or anything like that, a little finger slip, and it won't put it in there. But I go, well, you can go like this. We'll just speed it up, make it easy. No Name Nationals. Now, when a human eye reads that, it still looks like a word. If it comes out as none of my nationals, you know, it's hard for people to read. This is just a little trick I use to, it shows that I'm actually writing it. It's okay. This isn't a spam link. This won't take you over to sexy dancing girls, and you're going to get a virus if you click this button, this little blue text stuff right here with that funny looking hashtag. That's kind of helped me with that, if that makes sense. It puts the human element into the wording, if that makes sense. And it still directs it over to the no-name nationals. Now, any other hashtags I might want to use, we'll kind of, you can use your description box here as a draft too. I can put in, say I want to use, you see how I just kind of broke it down there. S10 swaps. Let's see how good S10 swaps work. Okay, if I hashtag that as S10, there's 26,000 videos in there. Might be okay. S10 swaps. Now, if I hashtag that as S10 swaps, I'm starting my own page because there ain't nothing there, see? I'm starting my own hashtag. So that's a completely wasted hashtag unless I want to build a page off of it. Chevy 10, 553 videos. It's not going to get much traction over there. Not too many people are going to be looking at that. So that would be a wasted hashtag. Unless I was really driving for those 190 channels that are in there. But hashtags, I don't use very many of them. I kind of get the vibe that they're more like Facebook. I'll throw them in there every now and then, but I don't overuse them. They tend to kind of drive your videos into one direction then. And I like the freedom of being able to expand and roll around with mine. So I'll use them when I need to use them. I'll use them when I feel that they're appropriate to be used. But yeah, I limit myself on my hashes. And one of the key things that I have really found out with hashtags though is, and they can hurt you. They can really, really hurt you. I'm a rat rod builder. I build and customize stuff. I cut stuff up. I'll put a Ford in a Chevy. I'll put a Chevy in a Ford. I want to be careful of putting my stuff in restoration hashtags, like that S10 one. Chances are there's a lot of S10 diehard guys that do not want you to even change the decal on the air cleaner in that one. You get what I mean? I don't want this video going into some place like that, especially throwing one in blind, because I could instantly make all, what was it, 9,000 or whatever of those people. I could make all of those people mad, and then they'll never watch any of my videos. So be careful with your hashtags, and if you're going to use them, make sure you go over and check out the page so you're not trying to drive a square peg into a round hole if you throw your video into there. That's my bit on hashtags. So that's an okay one. And like I said, in your description like this, only this part has to read like you're trying to get at least a passing C in English class. The rest down here, just keep filling it up in sentence and paragraph form of all them keywords that you can think of that people are going to be clicking and typing into their description up there, into the search box up there, and use it to play off of other videos that are already out there. I'm not saying copy their description and throw it in yours. Just keep in mind the key words that they're using in there to describe their video, to do their video. It really helps. Anyway, okay, there's and while this is going on, usually it's still uploading. So I'm waiting for it to upload, and I'm thinking about all this stuff. Okay. And it's kind of okay. I'll expand on that some more as I go. Thumbnails I'll get into in just a second. I wanted to come down here. Audience, always click that for no, it's not made for kids. All of your videos. In fact, I've got it set for that to be a default. So if I forget, it's always clicked as no, it's not made for kids. If you click it for made for kids, it's going to shut your comments off and your video is going to get buried. Let's see. Automatic chapters, I allow all of that. I've only had it happen a couple of times, but sometimes YouTube will break it up into chapters for you. Then we go to my tags. Very, very important right here. Now this is what YouTube did to stop people from just filling this section with just random words. They gave us a box now for that, and that's these tags down here. So anything you can think, these are my defaults. I have these set up as every video I put out is going to have these ones in it. You can see in here, I spell my name differently. All the ways that you could spell my name are in every video I put out. That helps people to find me when they're looking for my channel. You type in just Barrows, and chances are it's going to pick up on that, and then it's going to throw a video out. Now, oh, okay, there's Barrows Garage. I spell it with the space. This is actually our original name. This is me and my dad, B&B Rats and Rods. Actually, it's this, B&B Rats and Rods. But all of our joint builds that we have done together, you'll see this sticker on all of them. But that's me and my dad. And then anything that generally follows your channel, stick in there. If it doesn't particularly pertain to what you're doing at the time, DIY auto, that's kind of here or there. I can click that one out if I want. Now, the way you fill in these tags is, like I said, you just think of all of those keywords that anybody's going to be thinking of, and you just type them in, S10, and then you put a comma. Now, anybody that types in S10, it's going to pick that up and it's going to throw this video out there. And these you don't have to do in sentence form. You just fill it in. And they give you 500 characters that you can use. So you have 500 letters, spaces, all of that stuff that you can use in here. Now, this is where I use TubeBuddy hardcore. And one of the big reasons I went to the next level up in the pay scale, so I actually do pay for TubeBuddy here. Now, what TubeBuddy, the paid version, does is it gives you all of these many keywords to choose from. And you just scroll through these and it'll pick out the ones that closest relate to what it is you're actually doing. If you have the free version, it's only going to give you 3 at a time. But you can get around that if you come up here and you click, well, that one, you got to be monetized to have that one, but click the video elements. It's got to wait. Anyway, you refresh the screen and it'll reset them and you'll get 3 more options. And then you reset it and you get 3 more options. I was doing it that way. It took forever, and I ended up hand typing these all in for the most part. And it takes a long time. But I go through here, like I said, with the TubeBuddy's help, I can go through here, chassis swap. Okay, that one fits. Chevy S10, that one fits good. Classic cars, yeah, I'll go ahead and click it. It works pretty good there. Corvair engine. I don't know how they picked that one up. Turbo S10. I'm not doing a turbo S10. What I'm getting at there is, yeah, there's going to be a lot of them in there. Do not put them in there because they don't apply. But you go through and, yeah, just click through the ones that you feel that fit. If it doesn't have any that you don't know of, like you seen on that S10 there, see, if I type part of it, TubeBuddy's going to go through there and it's going to suggest a whole bunch too. If I don't have a space after, see how I put chassis? If I don't have a space and I click on one of these, it replaces this with it. See, like chassis build. Oh, wow, they upgraded it. It used to replace it. You had to put a space to get it to do what it just did. Huh, they fixed that. Anyway, so, well, there we go. Chassis swap truck, that one kind of fits. Chassis swap C10, hey, that would have worked on my last one. Chassis swap, that one works. And you just go through there and click all of these keywords that TubeBuddy is telling you will work. Go through and pick out the ones that work for you. So that is a big time saver. Just be careful of, like if I put chassis powder, there's nothing in my video that does that. If somebody actually types that in to look for it, look for how to do that, and your video pops up and it doesn't have anything to do with it, they'll never sub you, they'll hate you. So be careful of that. Make sure that any of this stuff is actually in your video, because these are your keywords. And sometimes I'll go through, like you can see right now, I'm kind of stumbling a little bit, trying to figure out a good title and description. If you have, like I said, the TubeBuddy paid version, just the one step up, you can go through here, skip this part, or get it in rough form like this. Go through and just use all of the keywords here that they're using, and then look at that. Figure out how you can put this stuff in sentence form, and then use that up here in your description, and just, you can kind of use that for ideas as you go back and forth. So I hope that helps. That's another way that I'll do it if I get kind of a writer's block or whatever you want to call it while I'm doing my description. I'll just scroll down and start doing my tags. That's what these are. These are actual tags. These are tagged keywords that like I said, the algorithm uses to grab a hold of to suggest your videos, not hashtags. These aren't hashtags. These are actual tags. But if I get writer's block, I'll just fill these all in, and then I'll figure out how to put chassis build in a sentence, and then I'll go up top and I'll put it in a sentence. I'll figure out how to put chassis swap truck into the description, and I'll go up and I'll do a sentence for that. And while you're just getting started in all of this stuff and you're trying to build traction, get your videos out there, don't be afraid to use all 5,000 characters in your description if you have to. As much as you can pack into your description, the better off you are. After you start getting traction and you start establishing an audience and you're rolling, you're actually getting good views, you can start to shrink that down. You notice like Vice Grip Garage and Cletus McFarland and Uncle Tony's Garage and all of those guys. If you go back and you look at their first videos, a lot of times they're a lot more in depth on their descriptions. But once they break out and get to the point where they're, this stuff starts working automatic for you, then you can start cutting this back and you don't have to put quite as much work into it. But in the beginning, you need all the help you can get to increase your odds to get those videos out there. And this is the prime spot for all of that. So we'll go through that. Okay, I got a bunch of keywords. I got a few more that I can stick in there. chassis swap kits. I'm not talking about that. And again, the free version of this, you can use it too. It only gives you 3 at a time, 3 or 4 at a time. You just got to keep refreshing it, and then it resets and gives you 3 more, and then it gives you 3 more. Trying to keep this baller rolling for you guys since I'm doing this live. Budget build car. Yeah, okay, we'll swap that one in. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, while I'm doing this, I thought of another sentence I can put in up here, my description. But as you can see in this video, the 2-wheel drive S10 chassis was a bad choice for my 19, here comes keyword, 1950 Ford and I'm going to play with a little clickable right here. It's actually a Wyoming State Cup car with my 1950 Ford Wyoming State Cup car. So that's actually what the car is. And it's a shoebox. 1950 Ford Wyoming State Cup car. Better known as the shoebox Ford. Now, if anybody types in shoebox Ford, this is going to pop up too. Okay, and I'll keep going back and forth to that, and then I'll edit them a little bit, edit them. I'll adjust them a little bit, take out stuff, push stuff back up in, and I'm just going to keep packing as many as those words like shoebox Ford into my description as I can. 2WD, all of that stuff. I'm just trying to get as much of that into my description as I possibly can to increase the odds on this video. Because Lord knows it needs as much help as it can get. Anyway, that's my tags there. And we'll roll this on out to how I do a thumbnail now. Now this is the main reason I got 2 buddies, because it makes this part a whole lot easier. We'll just create a thumbnail. Move that over there a little bit. Okay, with 2 buddy, and you get this with the free version as well. So free or paid, you get this. If I want, I can pick a stock image. It gives me space here for 3 images I can keep loaded, or I can upload an image from my computer. Click there, and I can go through my computer and find any pictures I want to put in, and it automatically shrinks it down for whatever you're doing here. For the thumbnail size, does all that work for you. Or let's see, I can take a still out of the video. That one might work. Yeah, you can adjust it frame for frame. You can pick out a spot in the video where you might, okay, that one might work. I'm just going to use this one as an example to show you here, but this might work. So let's hit continue. Okay, and then you can add text over this. My general is, well, I use the Lucky Guy. And I generally do my thumbnails in yellow because yellow stands out. Generally, I'm just looking for contrasting color to what I got going on. And let's just put, come on. That's a real basic, but then put a bold outline around it so it stands out. See, if I take them off, you can't see it very good, but if we bold it, put the black outline on it, that works pretty good. Now I can adjust it in to fit the screen. I can go of the space it down like that, center it. I can make it bigger. I can make it shorter, whatever I need to do to get it to fit in there, or you can tilt it, whatever you need. And you can put multiples in. Real simple to use. When I started using this, I could do a thumbnail, generally speaking, in about 2-3 minutes is all. Just boom, and it's done. That looks pretty good. If you want to change the color on it, you can always, yep, and it gives you multiple ways. We can do it red. With the red ones, I find that the white background works a little better in most cases. Again, you're just looking for contrasting in-your-face colors. I actually like the yellow one a little better there. You can add a black shadow to it. See how it makes it pop a little more? Or a white shadow if it was really dark behind. That would help pop it out some more. Maybe the black there works a little better. Then you can preview it. And it'll give you the top. TubeBuddy goes through and finds all of the top rating video with your description, with your title, with your description, with your thumbnail. It has an algorithm of its own that'll match you up with the other ones that are closest related to it. You see, I might coattail a little off of this guy for what he's got going on in here. I don't know. I'd have to watch the video, but I don't go that far in depth. Or this guy here that's doing another chassis swap. Oh, wow. It actually picked up one of mine. That was probably sympathy. But you can see here, it goes through all of the thumbnails that I'll be competing with or carrying with. How many views they've gotten. You know, TubeBuddy does all this stuff for you. Now, does it work? Oh, I'm a little blurry, but just for the sake of this video here, we'll just save and publish. And it takes a little second there. You can download the thumbnail if you want and reuse it. I never do. I always change all my thumbnails. And then that'll stick it up there. It takes a second here for it to reload. But we got to take 3 more characters out of this. 4-wheel drive, S10 chassis swap. I can take an S off of that. And the hidden advantages of what makes this the best choice for all makes and models. I still got to get 2 more out of there. And the hidden advantages of what makes this the best choice for all. Let's just try this overall. Okay, that works pretty good. And I'll come in and I'll make it more title looking. And capitalize everything that needs to be capitalized. And here, I want to emphasize best. I might cap locks that one. Oops, I actually spelled that. Thank goodness for spell checker. Okay, that's not too bad. And like I said, I'll go through and I'll refine this more and more. It'll take me a little bit. The description part usually is what takes me the longest in all of this stuff, because that's what I'm doing. I'm packing all of this stuff in sentence form into here to get as much traction as I possibly can off of those keywords. Well, I hope that helps there a little bit. And well, let's squeeze this over here like this so I can see the comments again. And let's see who we got all in here. Dean, good to see you. 162, good to see you. Junkyard D, always great to see you, man. Picking with Pickle, that was pretty cool to see you last night. 6%, Envious Car Creation. LP Lars, Ari Davarina, the T-Bird, the official T-Bird test driver. Pretty good video you put out there. New Guys Garage, always cool to see you, man. L&A Auto Works. Ice Spider, boom, baby. You gotta go check out his channel, really good stuff. And Breezy's Bike Shop, good to see you. Oh, any questions on any of that? I know this is kind of a broke up one. I sat up all night trying to think of how to do this live for you, because there's so many variables in all of this, and what I'm doing, I got to generalize it for you so you can figure out your own way that it works in. But if you have any questions on it, or anything, any suggestions, whatever, just pop them in the comments here, and I can try to explain it and try to help you with it. Rescued and Restored Garage. That's a good looking Mustang you got there, man. Boy, if Mustangs had a fastback, yours is pretty close to a flatback. Those 70s, they're a different animal. Especially with that big Cleveland in there and them shock towers. Let's see, click that again. Oh yes, I walk you through this part too. Once you get monetized, and I gotta tell you guys, don't be afraid of getting monetized. Don't be afraid of getting paid for doing this stuff. If you're getting paid for it, that means YouTube is paying you. It's not your viewers that are paying you. Your viewers are paying you in watching your videos. If you refuse the money, all that does is it lets YouTube make all the money. So don't be afraid of getting monetized. Don't, you know, you gotta, there's a lot more to it than just getting 1,000 subs and all your watch hours to actually make money at this YouTube stuff. But I can't stress it enough. Try to get monetized. I want to see all of you guys actually getting paid to work on your own stuff. It's every car builder's dream. Anyway, monetized. When you get into this part, this is something that they've added. When you're first getting your videos started and you're trying to get traction with them, try to keep them under 5 minutes. But if you're getting 100% or over 50% retention rate on your videos, stretch them out. Try to stretch them out to 10 minutes. I'm not saying make hour-long videos. Don't make half-hour-long videos. Those are for very well-established, mega established channels like DD Speed Shop, Bicycle Garage, Rot Rod Bob, the guys that have already put in all the hours and days and months and years building their audience big enough that they'll actually watch an hour-long video. The best videos you can make, try to make them, again, follow your retention rate, because in the beginning, if you're throwing 10, 15-minute videos out, it's going to hurt you because nobody's going to invest that much time into you. But a bunch of 5-minute videos, people are going to watch. And a 5-minute video is good for a couple of ads. But try to sprinkle it in with a couple 10-minute videos or 8-minute videos. All it has to be is 8 minutes long, and I'll show you why. Now, some of the videos I did way back in the beginning, way before the No Name Nationals, 2 of them keep popping up and I keep making money off of them. And the only reason I make the full amount off of them is because they're over 8 minutes long. If they're over 8 minutes long, I'm going to go ahead and monetize this one. I get all the ad opportunities with it. If it's not 8 minutes long, it starts cutting back on which of these ads will be able to play on your video. And you want as many of them as you possibly can, because this right here is actually where you get the money from. You get a percentage. You actually get 55% of everything that YouTube makes off of the ad revenue that they run on your videos. And you can go through and you can choose which ads you want or which ads you don't want played on your video. YouTube gives you all of those options. Or you can cut it out and have no ads on your video and just rely on the watch time and stuff like that. But that's pretty small. The biggest place you make the money in YouTube is with the ads. And we are automotive. And automotive, we have the advantage with that stuff. We actually have higher paying ads than the video game guys. Even though the video game guys get more watch hours, and the ads that they're running on their videos, because it's, video game related, are usually less paying than like Ford or Dodge or Toyota, Mercedes. They pay YouTube more money for the ad space, so we get a bigger amount from that 55%. So That's my little spiel on that. As long as your videos are 8 minutes is the golden time, but you got to work your way up to that 8 minute mark. So focus yourself on that, and don't be afraid to throw out 1 or 2 10-minute videos. If you're just starting out, you're throwing out 2-minute, 3-minute videos to get yourself going. Don't be afraid to throw out a 10-minuter, because that 10-minuter might be the one that you shot a year ago that all of a sudden takes off and gets monetized, and you want to make sure that all of the boxes here are checked to maximize what you're going to get out of it. I hope that made sense. I'm not telling you to go out and make hour-long videos. I'm not telling you to go out and make 15-minute videos. I'm just saying don't be afraid to sprinkle 1 or 2 longer videos. By longer, I mean about 10, maybe 15 minutes. Maybe that's really pushing it. But make sure you're backing that up with your shorter 3-minute, 5-minute, 2-minute videos. And while you're doing that, make sure you're filming this way, because they can run more ad space when you're running this way. When you film this way, like on a short, they can't fit the ads into here. So it's what will be classified as ad unfriendly. You want it ad friendly, which is this way. And when you're watching it on the screen, when you film this way, it's more pleasing for your eye. You can see more. So you'll actually increase a lot of your views by filming this way, and you get more of this stuff right here. So it just pays off all around for you. Film this way for shorts. That's it. So we're going to go ahead and monetize that one. I might make a couple cents off of it. I don't know. This is a new one that they just added, though. Ad suitability. You have to rate your own videos. Now, I try my absolute hardest not to use colorful adjectives in my videos. Every once in a while I want to slip. But if you do that, inappropriate language, profanity in little in your thumbnail, or usage in the content, and it's within the first I forget, it'll say in here, it's within the first section of your video. If you hit your thumb with a hammer and you swear, and it's like at the tail end of your video, it's like I was saying, a 5-minute video, and it's at the last 4.5-minute mark, you hit your thumb with a hammer and you swear, it's okay. They're just more concerned with it happening within that prime time at the very beginning of your videos, or in your thumbnails and stuff like that. If you got any of that stuff in there, you got to click this box. And then it goes through. You have to read this and judge it for yourself on how you want to use it. You can use it. It's just YouTube will put it under restricted, which means that they'll restrict it to you got to be 18 or older to watch the video. And if they do that, you ain't gonna get no views. It tanks it, just because it limits your audience. So I do my absolute best to keep the cuss words to an absolute minimum, and it makes this part easy. I can just scroll down and say none of the above, and then you got to come up and hit submit rating. So far it hasn't happened to me, but if you screw that up, I heard they give you a strike, or they're not as lenient on you. So pay attention to that part when you do it. I haven't done it yet, but I've just heard rumors that if you try to squeeze it in as appropriate for all audiences, and you've actually got a bunch of colorful adjectives right at the very first, they kind of hit you kind of hard. But I don't know. I've never done it myself. Then we come to the video elements. Now this is a section here that, yeah, I should have covered at the very beginning. You've seen in my other video, I talked about my end screen. I always put my end screen in, import from video. And I've got it preset. I always choose this one because remember in my editing video, I showed you how I put that title card in, and the reason I label it out as 10 seconds, give it the 10-second stretch. And it's because of this right here. There's that end screen. Here's the last 10 seconds of the video. And I've got this one preset like this. Move that over. So you see how that transitions there. You notice how I'm holding the camera and I'm kind of looking away. I'm self-editing myself for the shutdown for this screen. This screen is very important. Your end screen is extremely important, and I see so many people missing this one. This is when your video ends, and I've always got it set. You see, that's a playlist. So if anybody says, oh, wow, this video was pretty cool, they'll come up here and they'll click on that and they'll watch that whole playlist, or they'll get the opportunity to watch that whole playlist. And there's 15 videos in that one. So I get the chance of catching traction on those 15 videos because they watched this video about an S10. My subscribe button pops up right there. So I'm getting more subscriptions off of it right there. It just makes it easy for them. And then it goes into my end screen. Like I showed you there, my text fits right up in there. It just rolls out and then on to the next video. So always put that in. If I have I don't use these very often, but sometimes I will add cards in. What a card does, and you got to be careful with these, don't put them in at the very beginning of your video. I learned that the hard way. What a card is if I'm talking about something here like the last video, if I want to promo that video in this one, I can bring it over here. I generally put it about the 3-minute mark. The 3-minute mark is generally the standard of how long people are going to watch. By the time 3 minutes is over, if you haven't caught them all, it kind of filters down. So around the 3-minute mark, if I would have to go in and actually see what I'm actually talking about here. But let's just say I said something right there about yesterday's video. When I'm showing you all of the S10s there, and I want to bring that video into here and spotlight it, I can do that right here on add a card right here. Boy, my internet is slow. So right here about the 3-minute mark, I know I'm going to start losing people. It's going to trickle off. Hey, that actually worked kind of good because it's going into a transition there where I mentioned yesterday that I was a little worried about. This is kind of a little gamble. Well, if you're thinking about leaving right here, well, maybe you'll click that button and it'll take you over to the video prior to this, or, whatever video I choose to put up there. Or if you shout somebody out, you can shoot them over to their channel by using these. You can use them in there if you want. I'm not going to use this one, so discard change. I don't use them a whole lot because you're giving people the opportunity to move away from your video. So I used to put in quite a few of them. Now I just kind of sprinkle them here and there when I feel like I need to use them. But like on that one might be, in my mind, a little bit of a weaker video than the video that actually was before it. And if I'm digging more traction off the one before, I might go back later and add that card in like that, just to kind of use this video that later on in the analytics, when I can see that, okay, at 4 minutes, it just dies. So I can go in there and hit that 4-minute mark with that little tag or whatever showing you back to another one, and word it in there in a way that as you're watching it through, if you decide, I don't really want to watch this anymore, but hey, okay, maybe there's something better in that one, they'll click over and it'll help drive the other video. Stuff like that, you just got to kind of play with as you go through. Anyway, there we go. So we got it all set up. And, well, because this is a video that, like I said, I'm just using all this as just a straight out example for you guys, trying to help you on how I think about my titles and why I think about them this way. I'm going to go ahead and we'll just publish it. I did forget about the chapters. Now this is a long video, 13 minutes. That's really pushing it for me. Generally speaking, I try to keep my videos down to about the 10-minute mark. I'm not established good enough to go much more than that. I might want to risk it and go ahead and do it because I've done a lot of shorter videos lately, and the shorter ones might pull me through, and this one might, be able to stretch that like I was talking about there. Or I can do this trick. To start this off, I just make up like this. 0, 0, 0, 0. This just helps me speed it up. Whoops, too many. Then I'll do this. Copy it. Okay. Enter. Paste. Enter. Paste. Enter. Paste. All of those are timestamps. Now I'll go through and I'll watch the video again. Come on, internet, go. I'll watch this right here. There's a spot. Okay, that's pretty much the intro. And your first one is always going to be the intro, so I'll title the first one Intro. And again, another keyword. Okay, so from 0 minutes on to this one right here, I'll have to change. Video. Come on. What a time for technical difficulties. Okay, let's say it goes to there, and I'm talking about something dumb. Will offset. I'm just making this up off the top of my head to speed this up, so it's not 4-hour-long live here trying to explain this stuff to you. Okay, it's at 3 minutes and 7 seconds. I'll go ahead and 3 minutes 7-second mark. I'll put wheel offset differences. Now what that'll do is it'll break it there, the timeline as it's going across on the screen, it'll break it there. And as you scroll over there and you look, you can see that it's broke up into different segments. Later on, if I'm over here and I'm talking about let's just say that's where I start on the shoebox. Okay, at 4 minutes and 29 seconds. I'm talking about the share box, so shortcomings of the 2WD. So if you wanted to see why the 2-wheel drive chassis doesn't work so good, it'll be listed in there on my timestamp as it's going on the time bar as it's slowly going across on the screen. You'll see the brakes in it. Also, it'll be down in the description. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see these chapter marks, and it'll bounce you right to those spots if you want to, these time spots. So you don't have to watch the whole video. Now, the reason I do those is because when you're talking about multiple subjects on a little bit longer video, you watch your analytics, and every video you do starts out really good. Well, I hope they do. You get your most viewers right at the very beginning, and they always kind of peter off. Well, every time I put a timestamp in there, though, I'll notice that they'll go, whoop, and they'll pop back up, whoop, like a heartbeat. You know, I hope. Some of them just flatline, though. Sometimes there's just no help for a bad video, which I'm not afraid to make because I just made one here. But anyway, if you're doing multiple subjects about the same thing, you don't want to go too far off subject. You don't want to, I don't want to give a crocheting lesson in the middle of this S10 talk. You got to keep it within the bounds here. But if you're talking about different things, maybe taking the spark plugs out, okay, you can changing spark plugs. That's a good one. You can do the first segment of your video like this, intro on how to change spark plugs. Okay, that's the first part of it. Take the spark plugs out. Now you're putting the spark plugs back in. You can do that. Ignore the phone. And then you can timestamp it for cleaning the spark plugs or whatever, gapping them, and then timestamp it again for putting them back in. You'll see that if you do that, and because it made the video a little longer than what you're comfortable with, if you stamp it out like that, sometimes it will help carry it through and you'll get a higher retention on it. So you can play around with them like that as much as you want to try to get the most out of it. And since I just made that all up off the top of my head, I better not put it in there like that. But I'll probably go back and readjust all of this because again, this is just a whack out video that I'm just doing for all of you guys to show you how my mind works on all of this stuff and try to convey to you a lot of the stuff. Most of this stuff I learned from Buzz right here, Roadkill Customs. He was our sponsor for last year's No Name 500 and a great guy. He's the one that taught me most of this stuff right here. Buzz knows how to get the algorithm to work for you instead of against you. And oh boy, I owe most of my success on my channel to that. Buzz at Bad Tree Productions, I learned how to edit from him. I learned about what stuff needs to get out of there. And you've seen that on yesterday's live. This stuff is more of what Buzz taught me how to do on packing that thing in with as many of those keywords, odd ways of spelling it, and don't be afraid to misspell it every now and then in your description if it's a common way that people do misspell it, if that makes sense, because the algorithm, again, doesn't know words. It just knows patterns. And so it's going to, if somebody spells Chevrolet, Chevy, it's going to pick up the way that they spelt it, if that makes sense. So don't be afraid to every now and then put a misspelling in there. Don't go overboard with it though. And in the very beginning, I wanted my descriptions to sound and read like they were me. I didn't want people to all thinking like it was a robot or it's fake, so I used a lot of slang, like I'm gonna go over here, and I'd use a lot of apostrophes for accents, and because I like to write the way people talk. Well, that confuses the absolute hell out of the algorithm, and it backfired on me terribly. So I don't recommend doing it that way. Try to put it in as semi-proper English, even though you're just packing in keywords, making sure that they're in sentence and paragraph form, not just a random listing of words. Again, YouTube doesn't like you to do that because it confuses it. They give you the spot. Show more. Right there to do all that stuff with. And you could just pack in 500 words into that spot, and it'll do the exact same thing for you. And all of these words are hidden. Nobody else sees them but you. So it doesn't clutter things up. But it still works. The algorithm still grabs a hold of these. And you can read it right there, what it tells you, what they're all for. Because in the very beginning of YouTube, people caught on to that, and they used to do it in their descriptions, and it was just words, and it confused everything. All their videos were getting buried because it didn't know what to do with it. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys out there. I know this is a real ramble bamble on how I do this. I'll move this screen over here so I can see the comments again. There we go. Don't put Dodge in the video. Dodge up. Thanks for stopping in, Rescued. And it was great meeting you the other night. As it's also a respect also. I believe he's talking about the inappropriate language. Yeah. I have an extremely good friend on here, and I have shouted him out many a times. And in fact, I'm going to do it for sure, 100% for my good buddy here. This guy right here, if you haven't checked out his channel, this is one of the best guys I know. And I've actually got the real good pleasure of meeting him. I went down to Mohawk and met him at his shop. One of the greatest guys you ever meet in your life. Him and his wife both. Pete uses a little colorful language in his videos, though. he's overcome it, but he'll tell you too, it's tough on YouTube to do it that way. But this guy knows his stuff, hands down, knows his stuff about all of this. And he could tell you a lot more about stuff in general than just what goes on in YouTube. For those of you who don't know, he was actually on TV. He had his own reality show there for a while until they kicked him out of the show. Go check him out. Pete is the first one that turned me on to the tags and helping me in my videos. He's also the one that told me about changing my name. I know that was a tough one because my name used to be Barrows. And every time everybody tried to find me, all they found was gardening and how to grow roses. And when I met him, he said, "Oh, cool, you got a channel too? What's your channel name?" And he tried to look me up. He says, "Oh, all I'm getting is gardening here. Oh, I can't find you." And he scroll down. It's the one that told me to change my name. And I said, "Oh, I was thinking about adding garage to it, but I hate calling my shop a garage." But anyway, this is the guy right here that taught me about how to get yourself out there in the very, very, very beginning. This was just prior to the No Name Nationals breaking loose. Yeah. Anyway, can't recommend him enough. He's actually got 2 channels on here, my friend Pete and DIY Auto School. Great guy, great channel, but yeah, he'll be the first one to tell you if you're going to use a lot of colorful language and really be yourself that way on YouTube, be in for the fight because it's tough. Pete, love you, man. He does mostly body work though, and my stuff, you can see I don't do a lot of body work, so I haven't been able to really shout him out very well. But very much respect to him. The other person that actually helped me out too, and big time, I mean, she helped me out back on my 10th video, I think, way back in the beginning. She's the one that actually told me to stop doing this and turn my camera over. And she told me to always, when you do your next video, do a short little recap about your other video, because I was doing them, a series at the time. That's when I was building the 39 Chevy. She said, just throw a quick little recap of what your last video was about, and number 1, stop filming this way, turn it this way. And once I did that, wow, I went from no views to 4 views per video. But it helped not only that away, but later on, like I said, when you get monetized, YouTube wants them done this way because they can sell more ads on it, push more ads on it. So they're going to push that video more. Filming this way, they're restricted, so they're going to restrict you. Not to say that you can't break the rules and get in there doing it your own way, but it's going to be a tougher fight for you. Oh boy. Yeah, I hope I helped you. Got something out of there that would help you guys. I know I just really bambled through this one because this is the hardest one for me to try to show you and try to explain to you. The biggest takeaway of all of it is just really put some thought into your descriptions, your titles. You can start to slack on them once you get the ball rolling, but that ball doesn't start rolling until you've got like 100,000 subs, when you can really, your view count starts really rolling in. And I am miles away from that. I am a micro channel still. And I'm making a ton of mistakes still. Oh, and we'll go ahead and Whoops, wrong button. This one. I'll go ahead and post a link up there if any of you guys want to come in and ask about any of this stuff in person. And don't be afraid to criticize what I did here, because like I said, I left a lot of holes in this stuff because I kept it really general. If I didn't hit something that really pertains to what you're doing or anything like that, anything I can do to help you with it, I'd be more than happy to try. I really, really want to see all of you that are trying to make it. And that goes beyond the No Name Nationals. All of us on the sides that are, supporting the whole community. I want to see all of you make it. The No Name Nationals event is the No Name Nationals event, but we're a much bigger community than just what shows up in Sykeston. Some of my ASO, one of the biggest supporters right here for the No Name Nationals group, he couldn't make it there. He's still a full-fledged member of it. Nolan from Wild Rose Garage, same thing. He didn't make it there. He had car troubles, and he's way up by the North Pole in Edmonton, Canada. Still a full-fledged member of the No Name Nationals community, along with everybody else. 162 Customizing. I could go on and on and on, and with that list of people that weren't actually there, but were still there in the community of this YouTube. Doc, good to see you, man. Looks like you're going to be taking on Uncle Tony with an EV. Everybody go check that new call out video that Doc just laid down. Pretty cool. Well, with that, looks like we'll go ahead and wind this one down. Again, I apologize. This was kind of wait, there was one, dadgummit. One more in here. Visibility. I forgot to go clear to the end. Premieres. Instant premieres. I've done a few of those. When I click it to public there, it'll light up. Instant premieres, that means as soon as I hit that publish button, I got to jump over and jump into it. And as the video is playing, there'll be a chat box and people can join in and chat while the video's going, ask questions and stuff like that. Instant premieres, like I said, I've done a couple of them. They do help drive the video a little bit and give it that first initial little bump in traction. If you've already got kind of a little bit of a following going, and you got some people that are just watching all your videos, try doing these premieres. You can schedule it as a premiere, so you can set it as a premiere. This is the better way to do it, because if you schedule it, people can actually, okay, click the reminder, the little bell reminder, so when it's time for the premiere to start, they'll all dive in. You always get your better results with a scheduled premiere. And another trick, this one's a 13-minute video. I'm probably going to premiere this one, and I'll talk about how stupid the video was, because again, it's just a pickup mashed together video I'm doing for all of you guys with this one. But because it's a 13-minute video, that's 13 minutes that the chat will go on. But be careful with your premieres, because as soon as the video's over, it's over. It's done. It cuts you straight off. So you really got to watch your video as you're doing the chat. And then when you know it's getting close time to your video to end, especially that's a good time to have an end screen, because, oh, okay, everybody knows the video is going to end. If you don't have an end screen in there and, tell people your videos just end, if you premiere it, you'll be talking along in the chat and all of a sudden, it'll disappear and kicks everybody out. So this one, because it's a little long like that, I will probably schedule this one as a premiere, and then you guys can all come in if you want and talk how bad the video went. or whatever. Just premieres help because it gives it that little bit of an extra boost out of the starting gate for that first crucial. When you publish a video, YouTube kind of judges it off of its first appearance, first impression. So the first 24 hours are crucial on how many hours it's going to get, how many watch hours it's going to get, how many views is it going to get in that first 24 hours, and more so within the first 4 hours, the first little bit, it's got to do good, or it moves down on the totem pole. So because this is a little bit longer video, I could schedule this as a premiere. Everybody wants to come in and chat, so I've already got a group of people in there. We're all chatting in the chat box, having a good time. They're sitting in there. They're staying throughout the whole video, even if they're just in there to play in the chat. They're in there for the duration of the whole video, so it gives it that first impression boost when it goes out, and then the premiere ends, and then it's a regular video. It helps it get a start, if that makes sense. So on a longer video that's out of my comfort zone, I'll premiere it. Or if it's one that I've set up in my head as a premiere, like, okay, I'm going to do a more interactive video where I want to engage in the chat and engage in comments a little more. Like I was mentioning in my editing video, if there's a little bit extra troll food in that one that I missed, I'll premiere that one, and then I'll be right in there in the chat with you, and I missed that, didn't I? Yeah, I was thinking about the camera. I'll be typing that stuff in the chat, engaging with you, and we'll have a good time, keep it friendly, and all that stuff. I'm rambling now, but that is a great way to launch your video out. Now, the scheduling part. I told you that in the very beginning, and that is my number one thing that got me really boosted. I would go out in the shop and I would shoot 5 to 7 videos, little 5-minute up to 10-minute videos, and I would come back into the house, edit them, title them, and then I would schedule them out for every day of the week. And for me, it worked for 7 o'clock in the morning. Every morning at 7 o'clock, a new video would come out, and it's all set automatic, and you can do that right here. You just choose the date you want it to come out. Do that one for tomorrow. Yeah, we'll follow with suit. 7, 8. Oh no, this one I'm going to premiere, so I'll probably wait until 10, and then I'll hit set as premiere for it. Now, this is another thing that I see some people missing on their premieres. You can actually click this right here, set up your premiere. Everybody chooses this one, the classic premiere. It's the number one. It's the one that comes up by default. The music, the background music for this one is freaking loud. So I always choose ambient. It's a softer one. The music is softer. So everybody that uses, like I said, the default one, Premium Classic, it's loud and the colors are flashing, and I got to turn the volume down. And then when the video starts, I can't hear the video. I got to turn the video up. So I'm doing multiple things. If you want a little help with that, click on that. I choose ambient just because it's quiet and soft, and the music is it's not very good music, but it's softer, and I don't have to play with the volume. Actually, I think I learned this from Vice Grip. I caught one of his premieres, and he used this one, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's the one that Vice Grip used." So I'll go ahead and use it. And then I watched it come up. I was like, "Oh wow, that's a lot better than the one that they want me to use." With that one, I don't know why they make it so loud on that one, but anyway. And then it gets into more advanced stuff like how to uh, redirect and stuff like that. But you got to have over 1,000 subscribers for all of that stuff. So that's all uh, stuff that we can cover much later when I'm much better at doing this live. So we'll go ahead and set that one up for then. Or actually, I'll probably go through and check that out some more and make sure that I'll rework that title a little more, the description a little more. I just don't want to torture you guys through all of that. Unlisted. Anything you publish out is unlisted. It's just flat and clean. So if you're scared that maybe that song that you got playing in the background might be copyrighted, leave it as unlisted. Let it post out and let it go for about an hour unlisted, and then come in and switch it to public. If it's published as unlisted, they don't hurt you if something is wrong in your video. They'll notify you if there is a problem, so you can take care of the problem before you make it public or private. This one right here, this is after you get monetized. A lot of people that have membership offers, you can offer videos just to members. So the people that are actually joined you as a member of your channel, not just a subscriber, but a member, when they pay you every month a little bit of money for perks. This is one of the ways you can add a perk is you can put videos out that only go out to your channel members. I don't have any of that, so I don't do any of that. Anyway, mostly because I don't know what I could offer you guys that would be worth $1 a month. I'm just happy as all get out. You guys are watching my stuff. Okay, there we go. I shrunk it up here so I can help you there. Do you think YouTube pays attention to the words you use in your videos? Example, Rock Auto and so on. Any benefit to mentioning brands? Not so much YouTube. I have noticed it a little bit. Like if I'm mentioning Fords quite a bit, I'll notice that a Ford commercial will run. I think it's coincidence though. But if you're doing that stuff, you're mentioning Rock Auto and stuff like that, Rock Auto will reach out to you. And that's when you start getting they're giving you the free perks and stuff like that. But as for what you're actually saying in your video, I've heard it both ways, but the majority say that what you say in your video doesn't translate to the algorithm. It's what you put in your actually type in that's actually pushing it. But I could be wrong. Yeah, the transcript is for the closed captioning, and always enable closed captioning. And I do it and just let them fill it in. You can go in and hand type out all of your closed captions. Yeah, I don't do any of that. That takes way too long. But I let the YouTube do my closed captions. And that's exactly where they say that that YouTube is picking it up from. I don't know. So many people have said opposite to it, though, that it's one of those magical mystery things that is backed up with a whole bunch of coincidence, I think. But people will, like, if you mention Rock Auto a lot in your videos, and especially if you put it in the description, hey, I got this part from rockauto.com. I highly recommend them. They were cheaper than O'Reilly's or AutoZone or uh, J&B's House of Parts. You know, if you put all that stuff in the description, plus you're talking about it on there, those companies will reach out to you. And that's something that's all on you. If that's a direction you want to take your channel, take it and run with it. I hope that answered it for you there, J-Bo. But yeah, from all I've heard, that it's not YouTube paying attention to the point of how to direct it, possibly on what ads they want to run on it. Possibly, I don't know. Because like I said, when I talk about a Ford, a lot of times a Ford or Mazda, because Mazda is Ford, those commercials will pop up. But I'll have a lot of companies email me and they say, hey, I watched your video here on this, and they'll give me the link to my own video. Like, yeah, okay, that one. Where you were doing this. Hey, will you, if we send you this, can you do a video on it? I have gotten quite a few of those. But those are just people that have watched it. That's not YouTube. That's the company that has seen it. Anything. Oh Lord. Oh, energy drinks. Oh, what is that? Sasquatch has reached out to all kinds of stuff. I kind of backed away from it. I don't want to do that. I have done some product reviews in my videos. I got a pair of lights in there that I call my $400 lights that I paid $20 for. And it's a review I did on those Costco lights that took off. And it's a review basically telling you how bad they are. But they work good for what I use them for. But I have gotten reached out to by many companies because of that video, wanting me to pitch stuff on my channel, and that's just not for me. If I have a product and I see something and I want to show you guys my experience with it, I do that. But I hate talking about that, because if that's something you want to do on your channel, do it. It's a way to make a few extra dollars too. If that's what you're looking to get out of it, do it. It's your channel. Run it the way you want to do it, and do what you got to do with it. I mean, I'm handicapping myself by not doing that. There's no white cars in NASCAR running around that track with just a number on them. Those days are long gone. But my channel ain't big enough to compete on a NASCAR track, so and yes, like I said, I'm probably handicapping myself by not doing that. But it's just me. I can't do it. And that comes that when we had the monster truck, we had people approach us for that kind of stuff, and yeah, you just got to be careful with how far you want to push your work into other people's hands. I'll just leave it at that, because yeah, I'll just let that subject just lay right there where it needs to lay, because there's a way to do it, and those that can do it that way, do it. It's a great way to do it, and it's yours, and it's your direction that you're doing with it, and mine is just not that way. Anyway, anybody else got any questions or comments like that? That was a good one, Jabo. I really appreciate that one. Or used to be Ford before they sell down to Toyota and Isuzu. Mazda. Yeah, Ford and Mazda have always been together. Toyota, GM. I'm not saying they're the exact same. It's just, yeah, you buy I remember a friend of mine bought a Chevy Cavalier because it was a Toyota Corolla with a Chevy Cavalier horn button stuck in it. Obviously, there's other differences, but it's. And Ford announced that they're not even building cars anymore. There's no more Ford cars. Mustang is its own division now. Mustang kind of took the spot of Mercury when Mercury went away. So if you buy a Mercury or a Mustang, you're buying a Mustang, not a Ford, even though it's built by Ford, if that makes sense. But they give up all of their economy car stuff to Mazda, and now Mazda is going to pick up that end of it. And Ford is nothing but SUVs and trucks now. And I'm sure GM is doing the same thing. It's just the way the American car market has gone. Everybody loves SUVs. Heck, everybody loves a truck. Pickup trucks are more cars than they ever were now. I'm used to the days when you were lucky to have a AM radio in a truck. And you about had to have a kidney belt to drive them. Well, I think I'll wrap this one up. I hope that helps some of you guys out there. Like I said, it's kind of a ramble-bamble video on how I title them. Mostly what I was trying to convey in here was the way my mind works and how it makes it easier for me to do all this stuff. and some of the tricks and stuff I do for it to make it easier for me. This changes all the time. I keep it morphing constantly to whatever is going on out there at the time. And it's just, well, how I do it. So I hope that helps everybody out there. And maybe all of us can get out there and get that metal hot. And even if it is sitting in the editing room and trying to figure out how to work all those keywords in to your title and your description. And don't be afraid to use all 5,000 words, characters in your description. Fill out all the tags you can, all your hidden tags, like I said, they're down here. Fill out all 500 of them in. Give yourself as many chances for that video to succeed in the beginning. As things get rolling and your retention rates come up and you're racking in the views, you can start to cut these down and cut the description down quite a bit, and things will start going automatic for you as you build your audience, and it just naturally starts growing for you. This is just stuff to get the ball rolling for you out the door and ensure your videos get the most success as possible. Or if you want to put it in gambling terms, instead of putting 1/4 in, you're putting 4 quarters in to pull it and hoping for the big jackpot. It's just increasing your odds. Okay, I'm going to quit babbling. I'm going to get out there and get some metal up. We'll catch you on the next one. Boy, this is hard with multiple screens. Okay, I've got to come over here and hit end broadcast. We'll catch you later.